So hello guys and welcome to a sort of vlog sort of post where I'm going to talk to you guys about specific problems that I've noticed or I've actually observed from a bit of a far distance of what's happening to the Throne of Lies community. And this video is going to branch out onto what I think about people who are streaming and influencing new communities to join a new game or even an existing game. So a lot of people would say, okay, streamers don't have powers and it's the whole community that decides. But once a streamer gets very famous or well known, reputable, it's very difficult because the amount of fans that they attract can either be very toxic or they can be very pleasing. For example, I know a few Overwatch streamers who've recently who's quit Overwatch because they can't deal with their hate. There's so much people that hate on them. If you hate someone, there's no point of watching them stream. Only if you find the content hilarious or something else. Maybe the person's interacting with you very well that you actually enjoy that content. But apart from that, it's that whole bringing of a new community. For example, I think Throne of Lies had a few days of these big, let's say, Overwatch streamers or even some other game streamers who brought in a huge community. Yes, they can encourage you to buy the said game, but at the end of the day, we have an existing player base as well. Yes, I don't like the meta in Throne of Lies. I kind of find it really pointless that this game shouldn't have a meta and should be fun, so you can do whatever you feel like. Although game throwing is not a good thing, unless it's part of your whole plan of like throwing someone under the bus so that your team wins, and that works out to a certain extent. But while playing Throne of Lies, you have to read the rules and regulations. Just because a streamer does it doesn't mean that it's allowed in the game. For example, if you break, let's say we have the rules right here anyway, and one of the rules is stream sniping. That brings me to the question of how certain games you shouldn't be allowed to stream it. Making YouTube content's much better for Throne of Lies in my opinion, because although you can't interact with people, you can still show your game that someone cannot just come onto your stream that and say, hey, this guy is that, this guy is this, and then just ruins the fun for you. Because the main point of playing this game is that you want to figure stuff out yourself or with your team, not from an outside source saying, oh, that guy was NK, or oh, he's evil, or he was the last BD and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna call myself podcast over here because memes. But apart from that, there's so many different problems that's happening in these sorts of games. Yes, new community are coming in, and a lot of people are like, oh, they'll just stay here for a bit, do whatever they want, and then leave. The game's not free, so I would say a lot of people would try to retain this. You wouldn't play this game in a long hour burst. You play it in short hour burst, maybe like a game before you go into maybe League or something like that. That's what I would also do with Town of Salem anyway. But going back to the point at hand is we as a community have to understand that just because one person shows a game in a specific way and they're very popular does not mean that that's how you should play the game. A game is for you to play however you want to. Yes, I see sometimes there's so many SJW moments on certain chats and everything where people are like, oh, you can't have that name, that offends me and everything else. But when someone puts a Muslim name, they don't get reported. I'm just like, that's really unfair, because it's either all okay or none of it's okay. I'm just gonna quote iDubbbz on that. But right, I'm the sheriff. But looking at everything else that's happening in the game, so in is very difficult because it's very hard to pinpoint where people go wrong. Yes, having a billion people spam cap in your chat doesn't really give you about viewer engagement. It just gives you people are spamming stuff. Like I see so many streams get popular because they give away so many things. Getting back to the matter at hand, because I'm actually diverging myself into other topics, is that Throne of Lies, there are specific rules. Please read the rules. Don't break any, like, you can break the rules at times, but don't ruin the fun for other people. It's not worth for you to feel good about yourself. It's not worth ruining someone else's experience of the game. Yes, there are lots of new people, you have experienced people, but in my opinion, each game's a different game. A good player last game. Mm, oh, okay, that's what happened, and you can't really tell what's going on. The difficult part is when to know the fun's going to stop. Yes, if you're playing with a friend and your friend picks an offensive name, you shouldn't support him. It's not right. You are going to get reported by other people. But I'm also going to say that streamers and YouTubers do not have the right to tell another player that you're going to be modded. Better to be passive and be not mention it, because when you do talk about it in the game, you are going to cause a lot of chaos in the sense that you will make people revolt against you for impersonating a mod, which is basically, I would find, a reportable offense. Whenever I stream, I don't say, hey, I'm going to report you. No, I keep it in the back of my head. I'm like, okay, you put this name, will you find out that this is not an okay name or something else, and then give them a chance? Like, Monka, yeah, so come on. People have to really understand those sorts of small concepts. Yes, certain games are not fun when you keep getting stream sniped, but I'm like, I don't mind getting stream sniped. It puts an element, but it's, although it is a bannable offense, I think different streamers react differently to it. Although it is technically cheating and everything else. Like, I think once I was playing with Midnight Kitties. The funniest thing was, night one, I killed him. The funny thing, we were both streaming, so there was no stream sniping. I'm gonna put that out there. He hates me. Oh god. Yo, sheriff here. Tried to invest 7, but you jailed. There we go. If he kills me, he kills me. I'm not gonna even try. You have people who can make smart decisions, people who don't. Again, this game's about lying and deceitful. Going back to the community, I honestly do hope that the community does grow, and it would be nice to see the community grow. I wouldn't have a problem with that, but I just want people who would actually prefer the game to play. Yee. Okay, and that's what people have to know, is that developers will get the money from this, maybe some portion of it, but they can only ban so many people. You can't just do a revenge review after you get banned from the game for whatever you did a mistake. If you're going to be toxic, you're going to be banned. It's the same in League, it's the same in Overwatch, it's the same in, oh wow, that's actually a very good death. You have all those different sorts of concepts. But I want the best for the community. Like, this is from my point of view. I don't stream this game that much because at times I don't find it very fun. It's kind of, if you don't have the viewer engagement or the viewers like working with you, I don't find the fun in that. So I kind of feel like if the viewers could have a Twitch account which they could make decisions like Twitch plays Pokemon, that would be a very interesting concept for a game like this. So you'd see the community either working together with everything or trying to help each other. I would love to see that, honestly. I kind of feel like the devs take notes, like take out your handy notebooks and like write those stuff, because Blue's leaving a clue for you right there. So far we have so many blue people dying, it's not okay. Going back, whenever you play any online game, from my perspective, be respectful. If you're playing with a full stack of men in League, yes, you can have meme names, I don't mind, but try to avoid the racism. People do get very sensitive. I don't give a honestly, personally, I don't find racism a problem when it's directed at me or any of the cultures or subcultures I'm part of, because I don't really care. If you're trying to take a poke at me or a jab at me, I'm not gonna care. I've seen so many of my friends do it, so many people who don't know me do it against me, and I'm just like, okay, I don't really care. But what if I say it to you? Would you get offended or would you stay the same? Not everyone's the same. Sometimes you have kids who will say it regardless, they don't know the meaning. Like in the UK, I can see a lot of people using the term nigger so frequently, and I'm just like, do you know the point of using that word and the context? But the whole concept is different cultures react differently to everything. See, some people create metas over here, just like League. Okay, let me go for 10. Okay. Night 2 jailed, night 3 invest 10. But in every game you always have those people. Just don't let them get you down. Report them at the end of the game if you feel like they deserve the report, if they're going to be a dick about it. And if, like, by for example, if someone makes a bad play in a game, don't report them. We were all noobs at one stage of the game. We're not perfect. We make mistakes from time to time. The game plays itself like that. So you have to know that when's the right time to report. don't just report because you feel like, oh, he threw the game and everything else. Once I was oh god damn it. Once I was Evil King, and I somehow killed every single cult without knowing. Just random kills. Like, oh, put him up, put him up, put him up. Cult, cult, cult. And I'm like, well then. The other streamer who was on the game said not to report me, which kind of makes sense because I had the worst luck. But yeah, that's all I have to say so far. For the community, please help it grow. Encourage other people to play the game, but don't ruin the experience of others just for your own fun. It's not alright. You're gonna get your account banned mostly, and well, you can't really say anything else. I wish I could report something for being amazing, honestly. But again, shout out to the devs for continuously improving the game. I personally appreciate it. I think the community appreciates it. The only thing I would say, get rid of metas. I don't like the whole concept that, oh, he doesn't do this or he doesn't do that. I would like to play a game with people who want to play the game their way. It's like everyone playing the specific role the way they feel like they should. But apart from that, I'm happy to see this all things happening. Big streamers streaming the games, attracting new people. To the other streamers, I have to say one thing: support each other. Don't go against each other. Don't go against the community, saying that this guy's community is toxic. This is kind of rude. It's also kind of like backbiting. And mind you, from my beliefs and everything else, backbiting is not the best thing to do, because what if those people were telling it to you? If that's all the case, if you have an opinion, better to keep it to yourself. That's the easiest way. If you feel like it's going to benefit the game, tell the devs. That's all I have for today's episode anyway. If you feel like I should make more podcasts, like it's not a podcast because it's like a video being recorded with my voice. Right now I'm doing it live anyway, but I kind of feel like that's always the fun part, where we can all, like, as a content creator, we can always create different types of content to suit our emotions at the time. And I kind of feel like these problems have to be addressed, or at least people should be aware of these problems. I've played the game quite a bit. I haven't found anyone stream sniping me. I found a few toxic people, but I'm just like, I look the other way because I'm like, they'll do it one game. They're not going to do it every single game because you spent money on this. But whatever happens, happens. And then again, thank you guys for whoever did watch this till the end. Means a lot. Do leave a comment below if you feel like you have a view that I haven't mentioned, and I can get back to you in the comments. So please just remember that we are a big community and we are a growing family. Treat other players like you would treat your siblings. Treat them with care. If they're a jerk, don't tell them off in the game. Just report them. Explain it in your reports that this person was doing this, this, this. If someone throws the game and is new, don't flame him, please. You learn the game by playing it more. And since there's so many different characters, you can't always have the characters that you want. So I've only got King once, and when I did, it was Evil King. I did not know how to play it. Things go wrong. It can go wrong. Forgive and forget. That's the best motto. And again, thank you guys for supporting me as well. Yeah. And peace.